The next one is high gear, big win, is what the next section is called. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and this is one that I've had conversations with Sonia about that I'm going to bring up. But the greater danger for most of us, this is Michelangelo, right? Sistine Chapel, David, all that sort of stuff. The greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling, but in setting our aim too low and achieving it. Do you remember talking about that last time? So instead of having our goals up here, and I'm guilty of this, I put my goals right here and I always reach them. Because I never, and people have, my friends have criticized me my whole life. Like, dude, you know, why is your goal to buy 1 rental next year, you know, or 2 rentals next year? Why don't you do 36-unit apartment complex? Like, why are you being such a pansy? And I look back and I go, because I think it comes down to the fact of, because I think I'm too nervous to set my goals up here because I don't know how I could handle not reaching them. Whereas I know I can buy a rental. I can figure that out no matter what. I don't care if I got to buy it with somebody else or, you know, borrow it from great grandma or do whatever you got to do. But we make that mistake. And so Sonia and I used to have this discussion when I used to set my goals. And I don't know if you remember this conversation, Sonia. And I don't think she even realized she was saying it when she was saying it. But I've always thought that you should set your goals in a couple different ways. So number one, this is where I'm at now. Okay, so this is where I'm at financially. This is where I want to be. This is how many transactions I'm doing. This is my business. This is my sales. I could set my goals right here. That's where I'm already at. I know I can reach that again next year. Would you agree? Then the next one is to do what's called, like in you know, public accounting, it's called the incremental approach. So I'm going to add 5% to this bottom line, and I'm going to try to take that gradual growth of 5%. And so next year, instead of buying, you know, a rental, I'm going to try to buy a rental and a half with a friend or something. Now I've got a rental and a half. So that's the incremental approach. That's generally how I operate. So for most of you guys out there, I want to make $100,000 this year. Boom, you hit it. I want to make 110. They'll set that for the next year. Now we've also had the people in our goal setting sessions where, you know, somebody will scream in the back that made 60,000. I'm going to do $1 million. That shit drives me crazy because I know they're not going to do it. And I know I sound like I'm being negative, but I'm like, that's really unrealistic. So what I did with Sonia is we said, okay, so I'm going to put them into 4 categories. If I come back and I set my goals this year, and I'm going to be exactly the same. That's column number 1. Okay, I want to make exactly what I made, and, you know, kind of live the same life, same number of transactions. Number 2 is the incremental approach, which is like a 5% increase. Number 3 is the reach. Number 3 would be the reach, which would be like, I want to do 20% increase in my business.
Which was what you put on me, just throwing that out
I know,
there.
well, we went from 80 to 100, so we gave you about a 21% increase.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but the point being that that's kind of a big jump. Right? But then, and then I would stop there, but that's the one that I was talking to Sonia about that I used to get, you know, like...
mental about.
Yeah, I mean, I would set it, and sometimes I would generally hit it, but it was never the big dreams. It was never like, go be president, or make $1 million in a year, or whatever. So then, just for fun, Sonia said, well, why don't we come up with like a dream column?
Okay, that's fun.
I thought that was cool, because then if it's a dream column, you don't have to hold yourself accountable to that.
It's not as stressful.
So number 4 was the dream column. I want to make $1 million in a year. I want to buy five rentals this year. I want to buy an apartment complex. I want to do, you know, I want to finally hit my goal of 60 transactions in a year. You know, so I like that because that, for me, takes the pressure off.
Yeah, I agree.
Hi, I'm Chuck Whitehead. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for more great information, feel free to join us on Mondays and Wednesdays for our live shows on Facebook and YouTube.